At the beginning of the drama, we see a girl singing a lovely song, but it's just her dream. This is the female lead of the story, who wakes up early in the morning and her mom is scolding her. Her name is Ming. She wants to become a singer, but her mom doesn't want that. She wants her to get admission into Tsinghua University. For this, she has to pass an entrance exam, and that's what she was telling Ming early in the morning. The students who go there don't sleep that long. They are all very smart and intelligent, and Ming has to study hard to reach their level. Then, Ming's dad comes and tries to control her, but he fails. Mom tears up the poster of Ming's dreams and asks her to focus all her attention on the entrance exam of Tsinghua University. But Ming had decided that she would fulfill her dream by performing on the world's biggest stage. On the other side, we meet the male lead of the drama, Yugji, a true superstar. He was about to take the entrance exam of Tsinghua Arts Academy, and that's why a lot of media people had come to ask him questions. Without answering anyone, he leaves and starts listening to some demo songs on his computer. Then, the lights go out, and we learn that Yugji is afraid of the dark because he had a traumatic experience with darkness as a child. Even as a child, he felt very comfortable listening to a song that he heard even in the present. Then, hearing this song, he calms down, and he realizes that a girl sang this song, which was one of the demo songs he was listening to a while ago. Just then, his manager arrives and he asks her about the song and the singer. The manager tells him that they're all just demo songs that got mixed up because of an employee. All these demo songs are pre-selected for the girl's Heavenly Voice program. The manager told him that it would take some time to find this singer. Here, we come to know that Yugji was both a singer and an actor, but his agency wanted him to focus only on his idol career. The agency was also looking for a female singer to perform with him as a partner, and they would create controversy and make him become popular. But Yugji didn't want that because it wouldn't be good for the career of his female partner. On the other side, we see that Ming had reached Tsinghua Arts Academy to fulfill her dreams. But just then, outside the gate, some crazy fans of Yugji pushed her to the ground. They were all running towards a car because they thought that Yugji had come in this car. But it wasn't him at all. It was a girl named Shu Yun, who was a television actress. So she was thinking that maybe all those fans had come to welcome her, but they had come to welcome Yugji. So not seeing Yugji, they all leave. Meanwhile, we see Yuji's manager, who realizes that Yugji is missing, so she gives her mobile phone to Yuji's assistant, on which he starts tracking Yuji's mobile location. But his location is showing here, as his phone is near the assistant. We then see Yugji, with the help of his psychologist, leaving the agency and heading towards Tsinghua Arts Academy. He asks Dr. Zhao for help. We then see Ming inside the academy, who is a little nervous seeing all the other students. Meanwhile, the reporters have also come to interview Yugji, but then, seeing the keychain of Ming's bag, the reporters assume she is a fan of Yugji and start asking her questions about Yugji's lifestyle. Now, seeing the camera, Ming starts hiding her face because she is afraid that her mom might see her and get angry at her. Then, she runs away to escape, and the reporter also chases her, thinking she might know something about Yugji. But while running away, Ming's admit card falls on the ground, which a boy picks up. On the other side, Yugji's car reaches the academy, and his fans see him. But then, we come to know that he is Dr. Zhao, and Yugji had already gotten off the car and started to leave. Just then, some fans spot him, so he starts running inside the academy to escape them. Here, to escape from the reporter, Ming goes inside the girls' washroom. As soon as she comes inside, Yugji puts his hand on her mouth and tells her to stay quiet. Then she starts staring at him with wide eyes. Then Yugji says, "It's okay. Why are you looking at me with such wide eyes?" Now she recognizes him. Then Yugji says, "Now my crazy fangirls are even following me into the washroom?" Ming asks, "Who's following you? And by the way, this is a female washroom." Then, after looking around, Yugji realizes it's a female washroom. So he changes the topic and says, "Do you even know that being a pop star? How difficult is it to protect yourself from crazy fans?" Hearing this, Ming asks, "Are you hiding in the washroom to hide from your female fan?" Then she says, "I know some celebrities like you do weird things to relieve their stress, like going into the girls' washroom." Saying this, she was about to open the door, but he shuts it. He tells her, "If you think of me like this, then I should do something." Then he takes her bag's keychain and tells her, "I know you're doing all this to get my attention." So he gives her his autograph on the keychain and tells her to keep it safe. And he refuses to tell anyone that she saw him in the women's washroom. Then Yugji says, "This is the agreement between us. You won't tell anyone about my coming to the female washroom. In exchange for this, I gave you my autograph." Then, what should he do? He pushes her away from the door, winks at her, and walks out. After this, we meet another girl. Her name is Amy, who is a dancer, and she's back from America to get admission into the Tsinghua Arts Academy. Here, we see Shu Yun, who used to think she was very famous, was sitting like a celebrity holding an umbrella for a girl. Then, Amy comes and teaches her a good lesson. Just then, Ming also arrives for the music major exam where she meets Amy and Shu Yun. Just then, Yugji arrives. Seeing him, Shu Yun goes up to him and gives him her intro, but Yugji ignores her and goes straight to Ming. He says, "You've been following me here too." She says, "I'm not a fan of yours at all." Then he says, "Do you remember our agreement?" Hearing this, Amy asks, "You both know each other and there's an agreement between you two?" Then Ming starts saying that it's not like that. Then Yugji starts looking for the keychain, but it wasn't there. Ming says she had thrown it away. Yugji asks, "How did you throw away our signed agreement?" Ming says she is really not his fan, and then she starts checking her admit card, but she finds her admit card missing. She gets worried. Then, a senior named Fong comes and gives her the admit card and tells her to keep her card carefully. Here, Ming's mom sees Ming on the news and gets very angry. Here, Ming was preparing for her performance when Yugji comes up to her and asks, "Did you really throw away our agreement?" Then she refuses to disturb her. So Yugji says, "But you're just here for me." Hearing this, Ming says, "Hey Mr. Popstar, don't think you're great there. I'm not here for you at all. I'm here only to fulfill my dreams because my dream is to perform on the world's biggest stage." She asks him, "Why are you here? You're already such a big superstar." He says, "I want to show everyone that I've achieved so much, not just because of my popularity, but because of my hard work and scale." When Yugji's turn comes to perform, he asks Ming, "You can come and see me because you won't get an opportunity like this again?" Then he arrives to perform. The professor asks him, "Why is he here?" Yugji says, "I come here for Professor Lee because in the interview, Professor Lee said that he didn't act well, so he wants to prove to everyone that he's reached here with his own skills." After that, he shows off his acting. One by one, all the students perform. At the end, Ming goes to perform. Just then, his mother arrives and stops her and tries to take Ming with her, but she doesn't want to go. Her mother says, "You cannot come to an exam like this without discussing it with us." She says, "You think your future is a joke. How could you come here without asking us?" She tries to understand her. She wants to major in music because it's her dream to perform on the world's biggest stage. Her mother says, "If you make a mistake in choosing your entrance exam, your entire future will be ruined." Ming says she has loved musical performance since childhood. Then her mother asks, "What's so special about music?" She takes her with her. Then, the professor comes out and tells Ming that no matter what her dream is, she should have discussed it with her family. He tells her mother, "As parents today, we always want to choose for our children, but what we think is best for them may not be the best for them. Children have to choose their own path, so why not leave it to the children to decide what they should do in the future? Why not let them take responsibility for their own lives?" So, here Ming says sorry to her mom for hiding this. She tells her that this will be her last chance. If she fails, she'll give up. Here, Yugji also tells her mother to give her a chance. Then finally, her mother agrees. Then Ming goes to perform, where she's nervous at first, but then she starts singing. Everyone likes her song very much. Even her mother likes her song. Here, the song that she was singing was comforting Yugji when he was afraid of the dark. Then, seeing her singing this song, Yugji thinks, "Is that girl you?" In the next scene, we see Ming, who has brought all her stuff and arrived at the Xingyu Arts Academy, meaning she's been selected. Here, Dad calls and tells her to take care of herself, but her mom is still a little angry with her for studying arts. But her dad is fully supportive. He tells her to take good care of herself and study well. So, she goes to her dormitory room, where Shu Yun, who had decorated the entire room pink, is in her first roommate. After a while, Amy also comes there. As soon as she arrives, Shu Yun and Amy start arguing again. Amy removes Shu Yun's pink decorations from her place, and Shu Yun gets even more distracted. While the two are still fighting, their fourth roommate arrives. A girl named Lee Song goes in, and she's quite quiet. Then they introduce themselves. These four have settled into their rooms. Now, we see our superstar, Yugji, who is pushing his 4 or 5 bags and passes the gate of the boys' dormitory. Then, he realizes that the elevator is for maintenance. Now, our superstar feels a little regretful because when he was leaving for the dormitory, his manager had told him, "You can't carry so much stuff alone, so take his assistant with him." But he had said with great attitude that, "From now on, I'll do all my work myself." So now he had no other option but to go by stairs. But he was already late because the freshers' welcome ceremony had already begun. Here, we meet the 2 roommates of Yugji named Yong and Dong. The one wearing a yellow shirt named Yong likes Lee Song at first sight. Here, Yugji somehow brings all his stuff back up. Then, after taking all his stuff up, he learns from a senior that the elevator is fine. They just forgot to remove the elevator maintenance sign this morning. This shocks Yugji. Now, after orientation is over, Yong and Dong return to their room and find their entire room filled with clothes. All the outfits are of our superstar. Both introduce themselves to Yugji. Dong asks, "Are you going to wear all these clothes?" Yugji replies, "Yes, because I'm a superstar, so I'll have to change my outfit every day." Yong replies, "Before you wear all these, you'll have to wear a military uniform because military training is starting tomorrow. But Yugji says he will not wear it, but the next day, he has to wear it. Then, he gets the punishment for not coming to the welcome ceremony. To clean the storage room, our superstar, being a man who lives a luxurious life, is the one who never cleaned up, so he goes and falls asleep on a trampoline. Here, all the students were being made to run. Ming was the last one. She lags behind, which is why the instructor asked her to call Yugji from the storage room. So she goes to the storage room. Seeing Yugji sleeping, she goes to pick him up. Then he gets up and says, "Now you follow me here too. Now you have to admit you've become my fan," she says. "I say again, I'm not your fan. The inspector sent me here to check on your cleanliness." He says, "My cleaning is absolutely perfect," but she calls him a pervert. Yugji asks, "How did you call me pervert?" She says, "If you're not a pervert, what else can I say?" She says, "You entered the female washroom that day." Hearing this, he gets angry and says, "If you talk about it again," saying this, he starts going towards her, and she starts going back. When she's about to fall due to a ball, she grabs Yuji's t-shirt, tearing his shirt. Just then, a senior arrives, who misunderstands the scene, so he lets Ming out and comes to talk to Yugji. In the next scene, Yugji brings Ming with him. He says, "If you wanted to talk to me in private, then say so." But Ming says, "I don't want to talk to you." Then these two sort everything out between themselves. Then Yugji asks her, who taught the audition song? Before she could even tell him anything, she'd be called. Here, Yuji's manager starts looking for the singer Yugji had asked her about. Meanwhile, our Yang is lost in thoughts of Lee's song. He was looking at her photos when Yugji comes, and he quickly closes his laptop. Then Yugji goes to sleep. Seeing this, Yang turns off the lights, which scares Yugji. He starts yelling. Then, Yang goes and asks him, "Are you scared of the dark?" Yugji said, "I'm not scared of the dark. Why would I be scared of the dark? I was just saying that because, according to an English magazine, sleeping with the lights on at night keeps the skin healthy." But these were just excuses to hide his fear of the dark. Here, Shu Yun and Amy get into another fight, so Shu Yun goes out, as she does every time. Then, on the way, she bumps into Dong, saying, "Are you blind? How can you walk like this?" Dong says, "But I was sitting there, and you were walking." Shu Yun replies, "The world is so big. Should you just sit here?" Then, our simple and innocent Dong apologizes for no fault of his and tells her to walk carefully on the road. Shu Yun replies, "Why should I walk carefully? The road should be careful with me." Then, the training resumes the next day, where Amy makes an excuse of spraining her leg so that Senior Fang can take her to the medical room. Then, Senior Fang is taking her. She stops at one point and asks Fang for his WeChat ID so that if she needs to report her injury, she can easily text him. Senior Fang also gives his WeChat ID and tells Amy to go to the medical room. But Amy says, "I don't need it now because I'm fine now." Then she runs away. Now it's break time. And then two boys come to Ming to ask for his WeChat ID, but she refuses because she doesn't know them. But the boys refuse to let them go, saying, "Just share it once and we'll get to know each other." Then Amy shots at them and asks them to leave. But they both say, "We're not talking to you." Now, seeing this, Yugji goes up to them and asks them to take a selfie with him so they can become friends. He also takes a selfie with them on his phone. In the canteen, Lee Song tells them that Yugji posted a photo of himself with both boys, captioning it, "These two think they're more handsome than me." Seeing this, everyone is commenting on it, and Ming overhears two girls talking. They say, "The two boys have called Yugji to meet them alone in the storage room, and there's bound to be a fight between them." Hearing this, Ming runs away from there, towards the storage room, where she just met Yugji. Then, the door of the storage room is closed from outside, and both of them are trapped in the darkness. After a while, the lights start turning on and off, and Yugji falls down due to fear. Then, the lights come back on. Seeing him like this, Ming asks him, "What is it?" He feels scared of the dark, and he says, "I am Yugji. Why am I scared of the dark?" Then, Ming says, "If it is like that, then I will switch off the light and see." Then, when she goes to switch off the light, he holds her hand, and with the other hand, she goes to switch off the light. Then, Yugji holds the other hand too. Then, she goes to free her hands, but Yugji hugs her, and then the light goes off, and he falls unconscious on the ground. Then, Senior Fang also comes there and picks up Yugji and starts carrying him. Here, Shu Yun and Dong are near the storage room, and Shu Yun had a camera of Dong's, so she takes it and makes a video of it, saying, "If we post this video, we'll both become very famous." Here, together, they bring Yugji to the medical room. Then, Ming asks him why he had come to the storage room. Fang tells her how he found out that someone had called Yugji to the storage room for a fight. "That's why I ran to the storage room." And then he asked what she was doing there. "I thought maybe Yugji would be there." So she told him that she also found out about their fight, so she went there. Now, Yugji had regained consciousness and was listening to their conversation. Then, Fang asks Ming how he fainted. Hearing this, Yugji drops something from a nearby table. Hearing the sound, both of them come inside. Fang asks him how he fainted. Then, Yugji tells him that he had worked out too much, which is why he was tired, and he fainted because he was too tired. She says, "Okay, so that's it." Yugji says, then, Fang says, "Since you've regained consciousness, so we're both going back for training." But then, Yugji starts pretending to have a headache. He says, "Ming will take care of me, so you can go." But Fang says, "She's a girl. She's alone with you here." He tells him to just let her go, and he's here and take care of him. Then, Yugji tells him, "You are an assistant coach, so everyone is waiting for you." Ming also asks Fang to go. Then, Fang says to Ming, "You should be careful because this place is dangerous. And danger means being with Yugji." Saying this, Fang leaves. Then, Yugji asks her to tell him everything that happened after he fainted there. Then, Ming tells him that Feng had brought you there after you fainted. Yugji asks how he brought me here, so she tells him, "He picked you up with both his hands and brought you running." Hearing this, he says, "How can he carry me like that? I'm a boy. If anyone finds out about this, I'll be made fun of." Then he asks Ming, "Did you tell him that I'm scared of the dark?" But Ming had only suspected about this. But now she was confirmed, so she started teasing him, saying, "Now I know your two secrets." Now, what could he have done when he revealed his secret himself? Here, we see Shu Yun, who has followed Dong to take his camera so that she can become famous by posting this video. But Dong doesn't give her the camera, nor the video. Meanwhile, Ming starts making up his own story about his fear. She says, "So you were afraid of the dark. That's why you went into the girls' washroom that day." Hearing this, Yugji says, "How can you think this? You should be a drama writer." He tells her, "I really went there by mistake that day, but I have no interest in going to the girls' washroom. Please don't talk about it anymore, because I want to study like a normal student and improve my acting skills. So, please don't tell anyone about my fear of the dark and keep it a secret." Now, in the next scene, we are shown a scene from military training where the instructor asks for absentees' names. So Shu Yun tells them that Ming's not there. Then he asks about her. So Fang reveals that Ming is in the medical room with Yugji. Hearing this, all the students start gossiping that this is a good excuse to stop training. But Ming and Yugji are rushing to get there. Then, the instructor asks for the reason for leaving. Before Yugji can say anything, Ming replies that she was unwell. The instructor asks both of them to tell together about what happened to Ming, but they both give different answers. The instructor catches their lie and punishes them by making them run 5 rounds. Then, Yugji tells the instructor that Ming's health is already bad, and if you punish her further, her condition will only worsen. So the instructor asks Yugji to run extra 5 rounds on behalf of Ming, and then he punishes Ming for standing 1 hour. After that, when she completes the punishment, she sits there, and Amy comes and asks, "What is going on between you and Yugji?" Just then, Fang brings water for Ming, but Yugji comes and drinks water from her bottle. Ming gets angry at him. Then he says, "If I have to run 10 rounds because of you, can't I even drink water from your bottle?" Then, after drinking the water, he gives some water to Ming to drink. But she refuses, so he takes her with him. And Amy takes Fang with her to the canteen. On the other side, Shu Yun is still after Dong, trying to get his camera, so she approaches him a little emotionally. Even Dong himself was emotional because his girlfriend Lily had left him. She says she'll help him get his girlfriend back. In exchange, he'll give her his camera. Here, Yugji brought Ming to confirm again that she won't tell anyone his secret. Ming says yes, she won't tell anyone, but he has no peace. He says, "You'll have to swear," so she swears that she won't tell anyone. Meanwhile, Ming finds Dong's girlfriend, Lily, who was dating a rich man. Then, Shu Yun goes to that man and tells him the truth that she is cheating him, and Shu Yun brings her proof. Seeing this, that man leaves Lily, and then Lily breaks up with Dong, due to which he becomes so sad and goes out. Here, Yong sees an ad on Dong's laptop and clicks on it. Here, outside, Dong meets Shu Yun and gets angry at her. Shu Yun says, "You should thank me because I saved you from the girl." But Dong was in a love fever. How can he understand that? Shu Yun replies, "I saw that girl dating another man with my own eyes. So you should thank me because I saved you from cheating and the girl. And you can do that by giving me your camera." But with anger and disgust, Dong says, "I'll give you the camera, but not now, at mine and Lily's wedding." Then he leaves. After that, we come to know that someone posted the video of Yugji on social media, which leaves Shu Yun tensed because she was the one who shot the video. But because the video went viral, Yugji's manager gets angry at Yugji, thinking it could tarnish his image, and he's already been receiving negative comments because of the video. Then, she tells Yugji not to trust the people around him, because a superstar can never have true friends. Saying this, she leaves. Then, While he's heading towards the storage room, he sees Ming and Fang coming out of the storage room. They're there to inquire about the two boys. Ming says she remembers their faces, so she'll recognize them. Fang talks about getting help from Professor Lee. Then, Ming asks why he's helping her. Fang says he is getting too much attention because of the video, which he doesn't like. Then, she says sorry. Fang asks if she's apologizing on Yugji's behalf, but you said there was nothing between you two. She says there's really nothing between them. Just then, Yugji comes, and she asks him how he came here. Yugji says, why does she need to ask when there's nothing between us? Here, Yugji starts doubting them both, whether they both posted the video. Ming says, how can we do this? We are with you. But he can't believe it. He kept doubting Ming again and again. Seeing this, Fang starts taking Ming from there, holding her hand. But Yugji holds her other hand and stops her, and they both start pulling her towards each other. Then, she frees her hand from both of them, and she says, we both came here to find out about the video. Yugji says, if you didn't do it, then show me your phone. The video will be in there. Ming says, how can I take a video? I was with you, wasn't it? Yugji says, I don't know all that. So, just show me your phone. She says, if you don't find the video on my phone, you'll have to feel embarrassed for no reason. He says, being embarrassed is my biggest hobby. Just then, he gets a call from Professor Lee, who called him to his office. In the next scene, we see them in the professor's office, where Yugji says, they shot and uploaded my video. But Professor clears up his misunderstanding, as he has CCTV footage showing Dong and Shu Yun holding a camera. The professor asks them to talk to both of them to settle the matter. But when they go to them, neither of them had posted the video. Finally, when it comes to who accessed Dong's laptop, the name of Yang also comes up. Dong says that his laptop was attacked by a virus, which is why his laptop hasn't been opened since yesterday. Then, Fang says that it's possible someone hacked his data and posted the video, as he checked the video's IP address, and it wasn't from here. When Yang is questioned about this, he lies, saying he doesn't know anything about it, but we come to know that Dong's laptop was hacked because Yang clicked on an ad in his personal file. Now, when no one is willing to admit their mistake, Yugji suggests calling the police. Hearing this, Yang, who doesn't admit his mistake, falls at his feet and apologizes. He starts begging for forgiveness, and he forgives the three of them because his company will handle the matter. Then, Fang tells everyone that Yugji is a superstar, so if anything happens to him on campus, he'll get too much attention, which isn't good for him. So, we all have to protect him because we're all friends. After everything is resolved, Ming still seemed a little upset. In the evening, there's a freshers program where all the students perform, so Yugji is invited to perform. He shows everyone his dance. During the dance, he throws his shirt towards Ming. After the performance, he asks Ming if she liked it, but she throws his shirt towards him. Then, she gets up and leaves, and he goes after her. Actually, Ming was angry with him because he hadn't apologized to her yet. He had said a lot of things to her about the video, but even after all this, he hadn't apologized yet, and that's why she was angry with him. So at night, Yugji starts thinking about Ming's talks. Then, the next day, there is a practice class of Professor Lee, where our dashing hero is sitting wearing his glasses because it was dark in the auditorium. He was wearing his glasses to hide his fear, but then Professor Lee asks Yugji to take them off. They're asked to play different characters in 30 seconds. Then, they start performing. Now, when Shu Yun and Amy's turn come, they have to act like thieves and police. In this scene, they handcuff themselves, but they don't have the keys to the handcuffs. The keys were in a warehouse, and the teacher who has warehouse keys won't be back before tonight. So, Professor tells them that this will be very beneficial for both of them because you're both very different and you can learn a lot from each other. Finally, it's Ming's turn, but Ming wasn't able to act, especially with boys, because she gets very nervous. So Professor Lee asks her to sell 50 flowers as her homework. Here, we see Amy and Shu Yun, where Amy never misses a chance to tease our Shu Yun. Here, Yugji goes to Dr. Zhao to get medicine because he can't sleep well at night. Next, Yugji sees Ming selling her flowers. Seeing her, he smiles. Here, both Amy and Shu Yun also start to develop a little friendship. Then, Yugji goes to Ming and asks her to sell all her flowers to him because she's only sold one so far, but she refuses to disturb her because she's doing her homework. Yugji says, "You'll never be able to sell your flowers like this, so I have an idea." Then, he comes close to her and says, "Sorry." Just then, he sees a reporter taking his photo. While chasing him, he drops her flowers. Then, both of them start running after the reporter. On the way, Yang and Dang join them. Then, on the way, Amy and Shu Yun are coming from the front, but they are still handcuffed. The reporter tries to escape from them, but the handcuffs cause him to fall, breaking them. Then, Yang and Dong catch that reporter. Next, we see that Fong has a shop of selling robots and toys nearby. So everyone went there, where Yugji took the reporter's camera chip because he took a lot of photos of Yugji with Ming. Amy and Shu Yun start roaming around the shop, and Fang takes Ming with him to show his shop. Seeing this, Yugji gets very angry and starts following them. Here, Ming likes a doll, and Fang talks about gifting it to her. Then, Ming goes to see the price, and Yugji gets very angry, and he pulls her towards him and says that you are my fan, so you should only like my things. She tells him again that she is not a fan of his. Then, he takes her with him under the pretext of darkness. To make fun of him, she was going in front of him with her flashlight on. To this, he says that there is light all around, so I am not unconscious. Ming says, then why did you call me with you so soon? On which Yugji says, because you cannot like Fang. She says, why would I like him? Then Fang says, then why did you want his doll? She says, I did not want it. He was giving it to me. It is just a gift. Yugji says, whatever it is, you can't take anything from him. You cannot like someone else. To cover this up, Yugji says, because I don't want anyone to cheat on you. Hearing this, Ming calls him a child. Then, he asks Ming if she submitted her song to any competitions. She thinks that's how he found out that she submitted her song to a competition, and she was disqualified from the competition. To hide this, she tells him that she never submitted her song to any competitions. Saying this, she quickly starts walking back to her dormitory. The next day, they have gymnastics class, where Ming's condition worsens while stretching. Seeing this, Dong starts talking about Ming. Then, the instructor calls him and asks Yang to stretch him. Yang goes along, and he starts helping him stretch, which worsens Dong's condition. Here, Yugji's manager calls him and asks him to meet her. So, when he comes, she tells him about the weekend's work. Here, Ming tries to improve her dancing skills. Then, Amy's ID card falls, so she picks it up, and she finds out that it's Amy's birthday today. So she and Shu Yun plan a surprise for her. They decide to celebrate her birthday at Fang's store because Amy really liked his store. Meanwhile, Yang sees Lee Song quietly practicing her belly dancing. Then, he sees her throw up after dinner. Just then, Dong calls out Yang's name outside, and Lee Song finds out that Song had seen her throwing up the food. Meanwhile, Ming meets Fang and discusses the birthday surprise with him, so Fang also agrees to help them. Meanwhile, Amy is researching a bridge in a photo, and here we see that Yugji is at her photo shoot, but he's only thinking about Ming and imagining he's about to kiss her. But at the right moment, he opens his eyes before he kisses his assistant, after which his photo shoot is over. He also takes a break. Then, he finds out on his mobile that some guy is hanging out with Ming, so he leaves his shooting and runs away. Then, he calls Ming and asks her who she's hanging out with and where she is. She says, I came out for shopping with Fang to celebrate Amy's birthday at his shop. Yugji says, why did she need to go with Fang? You should have told me about this. Ming says, I haven't seen you since morning, and I don't even know where you are. How could I have told you? Then, she cuts the call because he still had more shopping to do. Then, Yugji runs to the shooting set and tells them all that the shooting won't happen now, so back up and go home. Saying this, he runs towards Fang's shop. Here, Ming and Fang buy some roses and start decorating the room. Just then, he's about to fall from the chair, but she grabs his hand, and Yugji reaches there just in time, shouting out Ming's name. Then Fang's foot slips, and he's about to fall on Ming. Then Yugji goes and removes Ming and stands in her place, causing Fang to fall on him. Just then, the other friends come and say what a romantic scene is going on here. Dong had even clicked their photos. After which, everyone starts decorating and calls Amy. Everyone falls silent. After she arrives, they all surprise her by bringing a cake for her. Seeing this, she's very happy, so everyone dances and celebrates her birthday. Then, the manager texts Yugji, telling him that he can stay out, but don't cause any problems. Then, they all sit down for drinks and enjoy a lot. After that, Lee Song meets Yang alone and asks him, did you take a photo of mine? He says, I didn't take any photos of you. I just saw you while practicing belly dance and eating. But Lee Song can't believe it. Then Yang says sorry, then she also accepts it. Yang gives her a medicinal juice and leaves. Here, Yugji asks Fang if he likes Ming. Fang says yes, he likes Ming, so he tells him that he can only see her from a distance because she's mine. Saying this, he tells Amy that Fang wants to talk to her about something, so Amy comes and sits next to him, while Yugji takes Ming with him. Meanwhile, Dong finally understands that Lily was cheating on him, and she wasn't right for him, so Shu Yun consoles him. Here, Yugji asks Ming what she was doing with that Fang, saying she should have called him. She tells him that she hadn't seen him since morning, so why would she be looking for you? Yugji says, then I'll be with you all the time. Then, he asks her, while being a fan of me, what have you done for me? Have you edited my photos, made my posters, or done something? On which she says, first of all, I'm not a fan of yours, so why would I do all that? Then he says, how could you even think of that? You must have become my fan. After that, they leave for the university. First, Yang, Dong, Lee Song, and Shu Yun take a taxi and leave. Then, Amy takes Fang with her, and Yugji takes Ming with him. So Ming says, I'm too heavy, so you should leave me. But Yugji says, no, you will fall. Then Ming notices that her heart beats faster. She says, I don't understand why this is happening. Then she asks Yugji to take her down again. Just as she's about to get off and falls, Yugji pulls her towards him. Both of them come very close to each other, but Ming falls asleep here. Then Yang calls Yugji and tells him that the dormitory is being checked, so he shouldn't come back if possible. If he gets caught, he'll face punishment. Then Yugji picks Ming up again and starts to leave, but a reporter takes a lot of photos of them. Here, Amy has even noticed that Ming hasn't returned yet, and they're also being checked. So she starts thinking. When the dorm keeper comes to check, they bring someone else wearing a face mask in Ming's place, and that's how they escape. After she leaves, the girl removes her mask, but then the dorm keeper comes again and catches their lying. Here, Yang makes an excuse that Dong and Yugji are taking a bath together, but Dong, who was drunk, comes out, and his lie is also caught. Here, we see that Yugji had brought Ming to his home, and after laying her on the bed, when he is about to leave, she says she wants a drink, so he picks her up to drink it. Then, they look at each other. Then, Yugji is about to kiss her when Ming vomits. And along with it, Yugji's mood and the condition of the bed also deteriorate. Next, when she regains consciousness, she finds herself in the house and in different clothes. She screams loudly and Yugji comes running. Ming asks where she is and who changed her clothes. He says, it's my house, and please remember carefully what you did last night. You vomited on your clothes. You even know how difficult it was to wash the clothes? Then, she gets angry at him and starts hitting him with the pillow, asking him how he could change her clothes. Just then, the doorbell rings. The manager is outside. Ming says, don't let her in. Ming says, no matter how much we try to convince her, she won't believe us. But Yugji tells her that she has a key, so she'll come in anyway. Then, he starts hiding Ming, but then the manager enters his room and asks him where she's hiding. The manager is searching every corner of his house. Yugji asks, what's the matter? The manager asks him, did you come home with a girl yesterday? Yugji says, no, not at all. Now, the manager doesn't stop and starts her searching, so Ming also has to run around to hide herself. Finally, she hides in a bathtub, but the manager also comes in. She says, you've become today's training topic again? Then, she shows Yugji the article on her phone, in which there are a lot of photos of Yugji and Ming, and they both get quite close. So the manager starts asking him about the girl. Yugji is just about to say something when Ming's phone rings. Then, she comes out and takes her phone and tells them to continue. Embarrassed, she hides again. Here, Ming's friends also come to know about this, and they're happy to know that Ming is safe. Meanwhile, the manager takes a class for both of them. She says, nothing will happen to Yugji in such matters, but this girl will have to face cyberbullying. Then Yugji asks the manager, is it appropriate that you handle this matter? We're both going to university. As soon as Yugji comes out of the house, the media is waiting for him to come. They surround him from all sides. Then, Yugji makes her sit in the car and tells them, she's just my classmate, so please don't spread alternative news about our relationship. Here, Ming's mom and dad also see this news and get very worried about their daughter. Here, both of them had reached the university, but there's already a lot of media there. The people have arrived, so they can't get off the car. Then, Fang calls Ming and asks her to come to his shop. So, both of them go to Fang's shop. Here, the manager tells them to spread different news to suppress the news. Meanwhile, they are discussing with Fang when Professor Lee calls Fang, and then Fang tells them that the manager and Ming's mother are in Professor Lee's office, so he quickly calls them to the office. In the next scene, Professor Lee talks about expelling both of them from the university, but they both defy each other, saying that he made a mistake, but in the end, Yugji says it's his fault, so if anyone wants to leave, let them leave. He doesn't give Ming a chance to say anything. Then, Professor Lee asks him if this is his final decision. Yugji says, yes, I will drop out of the university, but please let Ming stay here. After that, Ming starts to explain to her mother that she didn't do anything. Her mother says, I know, but I'm very angry right now because this is very serious. So, she asks Ming to focus only on her studies. Then, she leaves from there. But Ming feels bad for Yugji, and after he left, she missed him a lot, and she even loses focus. Then, her teacher invites her to sing a song where she sings a song about her boyfriend. She was already missing Yugji, so everyone loves her singing. Her singing is so full of real emotions. So, they spend their days like this. They miss each other a lot, but they don't send each other any messages or calls. After a few days, Fang comes to talk to Professor Lee. He tells the professor that Yugji is a very talented boy, so it wouldn't be right to expel him from the university. Fang tells him that this year they're going to offer a public assistance program. They'll ask Yugji to participate. This will restore their university's reputation and give him a second chance. Professor Lee also likes the idea. Here, Ming calls Yugji to talk, but his phone says it's switched off, so she hangs up and sits down sadly. Then, Fang comes to her, and she tells him that she wants Yugji to come back to her. Fang says, there's an idea that could bring Yugji back. Next, all the friends get together and start discussing. Fong says he has an idea to bring Yugji back. Then he tells them that their academy is going to introduce a welfare event, and if Yugji participates in it, then this will be very beneficial for the academy, and this way, they'd have a chance of getting him back to university. Then, all the friends divide their tasks. In the next scene, we see that Lee Song's mother is telling her what she should do in the future. But Lee Song didn't want to do that because she really likes ballet, so she texts Yong to come to her place quickly. Then, Yong comes and takes her with him, making an excuse of class. On the other side, Yugji and all the rest of the friends have arrived at an orphanage, where they have a lot of fun with the children. After this, Lee Song and Yong also arrive there, and they play a lot of games and have fun with all the children. Yugji also sings a song for the children. One child was very quiet, so the special teacher there tells them that he can't hear well, and the orphanage doesn't have enough money for his treatment. Here, Amy tells Fang that she has come to China to find her father. I don't know how they look. There's a photo of his in which his face is cut out, and it was the same photo behind which she was trying to find out about the bridge. Fang says, I don't remember anything right now, but as soon as I remember, I'll tell her. Then, Yugji and Ming come to everyone. Yugji tells them why not help the children, and especially help them with the treatment of that child named Bao. Then, all the friends agree to this. All the friends tell the teacher that they will definitely help the children. Then, they all leave to go home, but they only find 6 bicycles, and they are 8. So, Yugji tells them that he and Ming will go back while walking. So, they all leave on their bicycles. Then, he takes Ming to a snack street near his house, where Ming asks Yugji if they're friends, on which he says, we're not just friends. Now then he says, you are also my fan. So he takes her with him. Then, Yugji asks her to go to his house because he's hungry and doesn't like eating outside, but Ming directly refuses him because of his past account. Then, he tells her that her grandmother changed her clothes that day. So, hearing this, she agrees to go to his house. On reaching home, she makes noodles for him and looks at the packet of noodles. Then, it turns out that the noodles are expired. Hearing this, poor Yugji's face is worth seeing. Next, Shu Yun wants to get her photo shoot done. For this, she was looking for a photographer. Now, Ming's teacher had told her to learn piano, so she asks Amy and Shu Yun for help, but both of them don't know how to play the piano. Then, Shu Yun says Fong plays piano very well, so she says she should ask Fong for help. Next, Yugji's manager finds out that Yugji has gone back to university because his punishment was cancelled. The manager leaves for the university. Here, Shu Yun had booked a photographer, and he was none other than Dong, who had written his name as something else. But now, Dong needs money, and Shu Yun needs someone to take Shu Yun's photos, so both of them agree to cooperate. Here, the manager came outside Professor Lee's cabin, where she overheard the teacher and Professor Lee talking. The teacher is praising Yugji and his friends because they helped their orphanage. Hearing this, the manager left. Meanwhile, Ming was walking towards the piano room when she heard someone playing the piano. She thought it was Fang, but it was actually Yugji. She was very happy to see him, but in excitement, she asked him how he got there. She had called Fang there to teach her. Now, hearing the name of Fang, he gets very angry and asks, why did she need to call the broadcasting department? You should have called someone from the department. So Ming tells him that her teacher told her that she wasn't singing well, and that her finals were also coming, so she had to learn quickly. Then, Yugji says, forget all that from now on. I'll teach you, he says. Just then, Fang arrives there. He is happy to see Yugji. Then, Ming says, thank you to Fang because Yuji's back is because of him. Here, she is talking too much, which angers Yugji, and in the process, he hurts his finger. He exaggerates, saying he's in a lot of pain. She says he needs to go to the medical room, but like a child, he says, should I go alone? It's so far away. If I get hurt on the way to the medical room and someone takes photos of me, then it'll be a mess again. He tells Ming, you have to come with me. Just then, Amy arrives, and Yugji takes Ming with him to the medical room. On the other side, Lee Song is practicing her ballet. Then, Song comes and asks her to come with him to the rooftop, where he had brought a lot of snacks for her, but she refused to eat because Lee Song gains weight very quickly, so she doesn't eat too much. After eating, she throws up. Hearing this, Song says, it's okay. Even if you gain weight, I'll help you lose weight, so you have to eat with me, and I'll do exercise with you. Now, Lee Song also starts liking Song. Here, Fang had recognized that bridge of photo, so he leaves with Amy to go to the bridge where the photo was taken. While on the other side, Yugji is making a big drama about his small injury. Seeing his tantrums, Ming starts to walk away. Then, he stops her and pulls her towards him. They get very close. They both start looking at each other. Then she quickly gets up and is about to leave. Yugji asks her, if there is no one in this world except Fang who helps her, then Ming asks, then will you help me? Hearing this, Yugji says, I'm always ready to help my fans. Ming says, but by now, all the piano rooms have already been filled. Then Yugji says, don't underestimate your idol's abilities so much. Here, we see Amy and Fang, who reach the bridge where Amy's dad and mom used to come on dates. Here, Amy slips and is about to fall, but Fang catches her. Seeing this, Amy becomes very happy. On the other side, Yugji brings Ming to his studio, and shortly after, the manager also arrives and gets angry at him for still hanging out with this girl. He even brought her to the studio today. Yugji says she brought her to help her with music practice. Then, the manager tells him that he'll have to shoot an ad tonight for using this studio. When Yugji does not agree, the manager orders to lock the studio. So, Yugji has to agree. Here, Shu Yun and Dong arrive at the piano room to get some photos taken. After clicking a few photos, Shu Yun notices that her makeup is ruined. So, she goes to apply makeup. Just then, Yang arrives and asks Dong, doesn't he like Shu Yun? He's looking at her photos so closely. But Dong says, it's nothing like that. I'm taking photos to earn money because he spent all his money buying this new camera. Here, while getting ready for the ad shoot, Yugji tells Ming to ask the director's assistant when the shoot will start. So, she goes to ask her, but she talks to Ming very rudely. So, Yugji stops her and asks her to apologize. And even he starts yelling at her, so the assistant apologizes and leaves. Because of her yelling, the director and all the other crew members also gathered there. So, after they left, Yugji tells Ming to always stay 2 meters away from him. Then, she steps back a little, but he pulls her towards him and holds her hand, telling her that he will protect her in his place, so she should always stay with him. Meanwhile, the assistant director, in order to take revenge on Yugji, had mixed stomach upset medicine in his drink. This is why the shooting time was being delayed, and the assistant director was repeatedly making him drink, causing his stomach to become worse. But the director had said that he would complete the shoot today at any cost, so the manager tries to understand the director. Here, Ming had noticed that it seems to be a problem with that drink, and she notices that he's been feeling unwell since drinking it. But the director starts scolding her. So, she suggests they send the juice for testing, and everyone comes to know the truth. Upon hearing this, the assistant director panics and tells the director that there's no need for it. Maybe the bottle was open for a long time, so something got into the juice, causing it to spoil. To which the manager replies, if anything like that happens, you're all done. You'll have to pay a heavy price for ruining Yuji's health. So, the director apologizes and handles the problem. After that, the doctor checks Yugji and asks him to rest. The manager gives him permission to work in the studio. So he takes Ming to his studio and asks her to sing the same song she sang on the day of the college entrance exam. Now, after hearing this, the music really appeals to him, and he realizes that he falls in love with Ming, and he goes straight to her and kisses her. After that, we are shown the scene of the next day. Ming is still blushing, thinking about the kiss and feeling a bit too shy, which Amy, Lee Song, and Shu Yun notice. So, Amy asks her, why are you blushing so much? Are you missing someone? But Ming says in a hurry that no one kissed her. The three of them understand and start teasing her. They ask, did Yugji kiss you? Ming denies it, but they say it must be him. So, to change the topic, they talk about the debate competition of Fang, where they are going tomorrow. The next day, Yugji sees Ming going somewhere, carrying a bouquet. He can't resist and follows her and asks her what she's here to do. Seeing him, she turns back shyly, but Yugji asks her what she is doing here with a bouquet. Just then, Amy comes and tells him that she bought this bouquet for Fang, because today is Fang's debate competition. Hearing this, Yugji asks, what's going to happen here? Amy explains to him that today is the finale of Fang's debate competition, and the topic is gentleman's agreement in love. Yugji says, what a nascence notice. Amy says, how would a person like you know about love? Hearing this, Yugji says, if you think I don't know, so ask Ming if I know or not. Ming says, I don't know what he's talking about. She says, I don't even remember anything. Yugji says, did you forget so quickly? Then, Amy starts going inside saying, maybe someone was missing someone in the dormitory room. Embarrassed, Ming goes inside, and Yugji also follows her. Now, the debate begins. Fang's team was against the gentleman's love agreement, and the opponent team was in favor. The opposite team said that in love, we should ask our partner before doing everything, like, I like you, can I kiss you? Now, Ming supports this point. She says to Yugji, this is what happens with a gentleman attitude. But Fang says that love happens naturally. So should we wait for our partner's permission to express our love? Now, Yugji supports this point and asks Ming, did you hear this? This is what's going on between these two. And Amy gets trapped between them. And Ming doesn't even let her change her positions. Here, Shu Yun had come to watch a movie. Dong was also sitting in front of her, but both of them were unaware of this. Seeing the funny scenes of the movie, Shu Yun hits the seat in front of her in happiness, but Dong is irritated by this, that she might have trouble while watching. On the other side, Fang's team wins. So these three come to him and congratulate him. Then, Fang invites them for lunch. Here, the movie ends, and Dong says, God forbid I ever meet the female gorilla behind me. Hearing this, Shu Yun gets angry and throws her popcorn on his head. Then, they both look at each other and start fighting. Just then, there is an announcement that there is a surprise for couples if they win. They will get a camera in first prize. The second couple will get skincare products, and the third couple will get a lover's t-shirt. So they participate for the camera and skincare products, in which they had to eat choke sticks, but Shu Yun had already told him not to touch her lips, which slows them down considerably, and the first and second prizes are lost, and they got the couple's t-shirts. Here, these four have come to eat, where Amy asks Ming and Yugji, what's going on between you two, and what happened between you two that you're doing today? Yugji is about to say something when Ming says that he has a sore throat, but Yugji says, no. Who told you? But when Ming angrily sees him, he says, yes, a little sore. Seeing this, Amy says, you are a superstar. So how can someone shut you up like this? Hearing this, Yugji is about to say something again, but Ming puts a cake in his mouth so that he cannot say anything. Here, the manager is under pressure from the company to quickly find the girl whose song Yugji liked. Here, Amy tells Fang her heart feelings, but Fang himself was unaware of his feelings. On the other side, Yugji is behind Ming. Then, he realizes that this is Ming's first kiss, so he tells her that they shouldn't let their first kiss go to waste. He says they should get a little closer. Hearing this, she starts leaving from there, but then Yugji sings the same song, hearing which, Ming stops. Then, Yugji tells her that he heard this song in a demo for his company for the first time, and he had been looking for her ever since. He then heard her song on the entrance exam, and then yesterday in the studio. After that, he released that he falls in love with Ming, so he finally tells her his feelings. Ming is about to tell him, but the manager keeps calling Yugji, so Ming asks him to pick it up. Yugji picks the call, and the manager has also realized that the girl is none other than Ming who sang that song. So, Yugji tells Ming to come back to the university, saying he has to do something important. He goes to meet his manager, and she asks him why he hid this from her. Because the voice she was looking for all along was Ming's. Yugji says, no matter who Ming is, she won't do anything with her. The manager says, then why did she send a demo to our company? She also wants to be famous, and that's why she approached you too. So, you think she really likes me. So, maybe you're naive. If the company offered her a chance, do you think she wouldn't accept the offer? Yugji confidently says she won't, and he won't let anything like that happen, because she doesn't want to become an idol. She wants to become the best musical actress. The manager asks, do you really love her? So that's right, she says. You should treat your love like a publicity stunt. Yugji says, you won't do anything wrong to her. So, here the manager tells him that if she weren't with him, he would still be in the same welfare institution or in the orphanage. This means he's an orphan too. Hearing this, Yugji leaves. Then, the manager also realizes that she had said too much to Yugji. Here, Yugji is very sad, and his health starts deteriorating. He quickly calls someone to help him, and what happens is he faints. After this, we see Yugji unconscious in a dark room. Then, he wakes up from sleep. We learn that he called a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist found him from his location. He had taken too many sleeping pills, which is why he felt dizzy. We learn that he has PTSD, a condition caused by childhood trauma. And for Yugji, this trauma is because of that dark room, and this caused him to develop a stress disorder. The psychiatrist advises him to take a break and get treatment, which will take a year. Yugji says he'll think about it, but before that, he has to perform his last play at his university. Before that, he also has to tell Ming something. So, the psychiatrist tells him that he shouldn't get into a relationship right now because later he'll get hurt if he doesn't get treatment quickly. Here, at the university, Yugji misses his class, so the teacher asks Ming to tell him that if he does not attend classes regularly, he will fail this semester. So, Ming calls him, but the call doesn't go through, so she sends him a voice message. Now, their final exams are coming, so Amy asks Ming to go to Fang's shop so they can get some tips. So next, all the friends are gathered in the store and are discussing the same thing. Ming gets a call from the manager who is asking her to meet up. So Ming goes, thinking she might want to talk about Yugji, but the manager tells her that she wants to sign her today on behalf of the company and that she had even prepared a contract for her. She tells Ming that she and Yugji will perform together, and after that, they will become the best internet couple. After that, she gives her the contract and tells her that she wants to sign it right now. Just then, Yugji also comes there and tells the manager that she won't sign the contract. Then, he takes her with him. Ming asks him why he did this. He tells her that if she had signed the contract, she would have lost a lot, like her freedom. But Ming misunderstands this. She starts saying that you feel like I'm not qualified for this yet, or I don't deserve to work in your company. Then, he explains that it's not like that. I just don't want you to lose yourself by contracting with the company. You should just focus on your dream. But she gets even more angry and leaves. After that, at night, she was just thinking about Yugji. Here, the psychiatrist calls Yugji and asks him to apply for the visa. Yugji tells him that he needs some time, and the psychiatrist says that he shouldn't delay it anymore because his problem could be more serious. Meanwhile, Mr. Lee reveals that their final play is coming soon, which will be his first public performance. Professor Lee asks everyone who wants to be the hero and heroine for the public play. Shu Yun stands up for the heroine, and Ming also stands up because she wanted to prove to Yugji that she's also qualified for the company. Seeing this, Yugji also volunteers for the hero, and no one stands up against him, so he becomes the hero. The heroine will have to give an audition only after that. The heroine will be selected, so this creates a bit of a mess in Shu Yun and Ming. Ming is engrossed in her preparations with full enthusiasm when Yugji sees her from outside the door. Then, he gets a call from the psychiatrist. This time, he agrees to apply for the visa. Then, he goes inside the room and starts speaking his dialogue with her. When he is about to kiss her hand, Ming pulls her hand back. Yugji asks, "Are you angry with me right now?" Ming says, "I'm not angry with you. You're a famous idol, and I am a simple girl. How can I be angry with you?" Yugji says, "I know you're angry with me." Then he says, "I am sorry for that day. Dream is to become the world's best musical actress, and you want to perform on the world's biggest stages. That's why I didn't want you to sign the contract." Here, she again misunderstands him again. But this time, Yugji explains everything to her clearly, saying, "The company works only through you. She wants to create an on-screen couple. They don't have any long-term plans for you. As for ending the contracts, you'll have to do according to the company. And that's why I don't want you to have to do all that, because you're more talented than me, so you can achieve everything through your talent. And that's why I don't want you to sign the contract." This time, she trusts him and apologizes to him. So Yugji says, "You don't need to apologize to me." Now, the day of the play arrives, but Ming's throat gets spoiled because of over-practicing. Then, Amy says, Shu Yun used to make her practice a lot, and she did this to become a heroine. Hearing this, all the students start talking about Shu Yun, which makes Shu Yun angry, and she says, if Ming can't play the heroine, then she won't do it either. Then she leaves, so Dong goes after her to convince her. Dong explains to her that everyone makes mistakes, and it's not right to run away like this in difficult times. Everyone has worked hard on this play, so we should help everyone to make this play a success. She also agrees. Then the teacher comes and asks Shu Yun to be the heroine, but Shu Yun didn't want to do it, so the teacher makes another girl the heroine. And in the last half hour, everyone is asked to carefully review their roles. Now, they had worked very hard, which Yugji didn't want to let go to waste, so they all get ready for the play. Then, finally, the play begins, and everyone performs very well. Here, Ming also realizes that she had started liking Yugji. Now, the next day, Yugji was about to go to Japan for treatment. Before that, he calls Fang to meet him, whom he asks to take care of Ming. Fang doesn't understand anything. Yugji tells him that he is going somewhere for some personal reason and doesn't know when he will return or if he will return at all. Fang tells him that he should talk to Ming, but he asks him to keep it a secret. Next, he goes to meet Ming, where Ming comes with flowers and tells him that she likes him too. But he tells her that he had a few too many drinks that day, so he was just joking. Hearing this, Ming says, "Don't joke," but Yugji says, "Maybe you misunderstood me because I became a little too friendly with you, so I'm sorry." Ming gets angry and she throws the bouquet at him. Then, Yugji angrily says, "You're a simple girl, and I'm a superstar, so how could you even think that I would like you?" But Ming still doesn't believe him. She asks him, "What happened? You can tell?" Yugji angrily says, "Why don't you understand that I don't like you?" But she still doesn't believe it. She says, "I know you like me. You're hiding something from me. No matter what, I'll stand by you, so you can tell me." But Yugji pulls her, making her fall down, and says, "I never want to be with you." Saying this, he leaves, and she is left crying. Then, we're shown a scene a year later where Fang has graduated, and Ming has focused all her time on her studies, but she's still waiting for Yugji to come back. Meanwhile, Amy hasn't been attending class for a few days. Then, Lee Song talks about going abroad to study. Then, Yong says he'll go with her. Just then, Professor Lee called Yong. Now, Yuji's one-year leave has expired, so the professor gives Yong some documents and asks him to get Yuji's manager's signature on them. Here, Fang and Ming also talk about Amy's absence. From Ming's posts, Fang finds out where she might be, so they both go looking for her. So, for the past few days, Amy was in a dance club where there was a competition between many famous dancers. So, when they asked Amy why she was not attending class, she told them that she had taken a leave for a few days because she wanted to be alone. So, Ming left the place to let them talk alone. Fang said, "You are special to many people. Everyone is worried about you." In which she said, "Does the person I like care about me because he hasn't responded to me yet?" He smiled and changed the topic. In the next scene, we see that Yugji had returned from Japan, whose condition has improved a lot. The psychiatrist says that there are chances of his full recovery. After this, he heads to the university to meet with Ming. Meanwhile, Yong arrives at his company to meet his manager. The security guards don't let him in, or he tells them that he's his classmate, his friend, and also his roommate. But the security guards don't even listen to him because there are many people trying to get in every day using similar excuses. He tries to get in by applying some heat, but the security guards repeatedly turn him away. Here, Yugji arrives at the university when his assistant arrives, asking him to come with him to the company because the manager had called him. So, he goes with him. Then, they leave, and Dong and Shu Yun see them leaving. And after a while, Fang and Ming also come there. So Shu Yun tells Ming about Yugji's arrival. Then Fang also starts saying that he had called him to meet him before leaving, and asked him to take care of Ming because he was going somewhere. There was no guarantee he would come. Then Fang said to Ming, "You should go talk to him." On the other side, Yang sticks with the guard's leg and says, "I won't leave until he lets him go." A little while later, Yugji arrives and takes him inside. Then the manager tells Yugji about the company's losses, saying that if he runs away, he'll fix everything. Then the manager asks Yugji for an interview this afternoon, and Yugji tells Yang that he'll go to meet Professor Lee personally. Here, Ming also arrives, but the security guards don't let her in. And from there, they tell her everything they told Yang. Yang sees her. So he tells the security guard that she's also a friend who's come to meet Yugji, but the security guards do not let her go inside. Then Yang distracts them and she goes inside, but the security guard follows her. Then, outside a room, the security guard is about to catch her, but Yugji pulls her inside. Both of them are left staring at each other. While running, water spilled on her clothes, so he tells her to take a shower first, and while he dries her clothes. So next, she is taking a bath in the bathroom, while Yugji is sitting outside with a towel. When he hears the manager coming into his room, she has come for an interview. Seeing this, Yugji covers his mouth and tells her that he is coming inside, so he quickly closes the door and puts a towel on her and shuts her mouth so that she cannot make noise. But then the manager opens the door and sees them. Then, she quickly closes the door and takes the reporter with her. Then, Ming says they've left. Yugji says yes, maybe, but he does not understand what she wanted to say. But when he realizes this, he says, "I didn't see anything." But Ming yells and pulls him, kicks him, and throws him out. After a while, Ming comes out and asks him where he was all year. Now, she guesses that Yugji had some illness, and he must have gone somewhere for treatment. So Yugji tells her the truth, saying that a year ago, around this time, his psychiatrist said his condition was getting worse, so he had to go to Japan for treatment. So he went to Japan for treatment. Ming asks why he lied to her. To this, he simply says, "I didn't know when I'd be back, so I didn't want you to wait for me, and I'm also afraid that I might never come back." On which Ming says, "You never thought about me. What would happen to me? I just wanted us to face all the problems together." Yugji says, "Now I'm back. Can we both be together?" But she has gotten used to living without Yugji, so she doesn't want to wait for him. Then, she angrily leaves. Here, the manager asks the reporter for an interview at another time. Then, she pays him, and the assistant escorts him out. But the reporter says, how can he go back like that? He goes back in because he suspected it would be something else. Here, Yugji had a lot of drinks. His assistant takes him to the manager, and the reporter takes their photos and follows them. He had drunk so much that when the manager comes, he thinks she's Ming and says, "I can't live without you. I love you." Hearing this breaking news, the reporter comes out and starts taking their photos and writes in his report that famous idol Yugji loves his manager, and that's why the manager kept it hidden. Then, the manager goes to stop the reporter and tells him to stop all this nonsense. Now, Yugji thinks his assistant is Ming and tells him to please come back to him, saying, "I like you very much." Seeing this, the reporter starts writing even more dangerous reports that after breaking up with his manager, Yugji becomes gay and falls for his assistant. Then, the manager had threatened the reporter if he didn't stop writing all this nonsense, but the reporter was making up stories according to his own wishes. Now, seeing the reporter and manager's fight, Yugji attacks the reporter. The reporter, leaving himself, told Yugji that "you raised your hand on me. Now your career will be ruined." Now, the manager gets very angry at Yugji because if the reporter publishes all of this, it will truly ruin the careers of both him and his manager. Here, Ming is very upset, so all her friends come over, where Lee Song reveals that she's going to the UK for her further studies. Amy says she'll open her own hip-hop studio with some of her dancers, and Shu Yun recently auditioned for a drama. Then, all the friends enjoy snacks together. After that, Fang reveals to Amy that he wants to become a teacher, and Amy also says that she'll be teaching because she is going to start a dance studio. Then, Fang puts a candy on Amy's hand and says, "This is my response." He's embarrassed to even say it. Then, he tells her to hurry up because their graduation play is about to be held. After that, when they are choosing their play, Ming sees the news on her mobile phone. The reporter has published all the news, which leaves everyone stunned. Next, we see Yugji, who had drunk too much and is lying down. His manager tells him that the reporter's beat is being highlighted too much, which could be very bad for him. Then, the company's CEO calls the manager and tells her that the situation has gotten out of control, so the manager is suspended. She is very worried about Yugji, But Yugji tells his manager about his PTSD. After this, the manager also feels bad for him, but she doesn't tell him that she has been suspended, saying that she will take care of everything, so he shouldn't stress about it. Meanwhile, the reporter shows his fake injuries and does a live stream in which he says that he was beaten badly. After this, Yugji starts receiving negative comments. All the brands that had signed contracts with him cancel all the contracts and ask him to compensate for the losses they have suffered. The manager tries very hard, but to no avail. People even go on strike in his name. They start protesting. On the other side, Shu Yun is acting in a drama where she has to lift very heavy equipment. The director is taking retakes again and again. Here, Dong also comes on set to assist the cameraman. Seeing Shu Yun, he feels bad for her, but even then, he supports her and encourages her. Here, Yugji sees Ming's message. She calls him to meet her, but the assistant doesn't let him go because there are a lot of media people standing outside. Then, through the assistant, Yugji learns that his manager has been suspended. Hearing this, he is shocked. Here, the manager comes to meet Ming and asks her to contact the leader of Yugji's fan clubs because he needs support right now. But now, even that leader is misunderstanding him. Therefore, she must tell the truth and make his fans aware of this. So, next, Ming requests the leader of these fan clubs to meet her once. Meanwhile, Yang and Dong, along with Fang, move on to the next plan. Next, Ming goes to meet the leader of the fan club. She somehow convinces her to post anything in support of Yugji. After that, she asks Fang to start their second plan, which was told by the manager that the report secretly used to take photos of famous people and then blackmail them and earn through it. So, the manager gives Ming an idea to expose the reporter. To do this, Fang poses as a delivery boy and gives the reporter a parcel in the name of a lady named Lily, which contains a hotel room card. After this, we see a flashback. The manager reveals that Lily is an actress who had an affair with a director. The reporter took photos of them together and was demanding money in exchange for these photos. Then, the manager also gives her a camera to record the reporter's actions so they can blackmail him. Everything goes according to plan. When the reporter is caught red-handed, Yang threatens him and forces him to spill the truth in his live stream. This also results in the manager's suspension. The CEO asks her to become another artist's agent because Yugji is no longer popular and has to pay a significant amount of compensation to the brand. But the manager refuses, telling him that she won't leave him alone at this time, and that she should be his agent because she considers him her brother and doesn't want to see him in any trouble. Now, the compensation amount that Yugji has to pay comes on the internet, and everyone comes to know about this. That's why no brand wants to work with Yugji anymore. But the manager, even in this situation, tells Yugji that he doesn't need to worry. She'll take care of everything. Now, Yugji also realizes that the manager has always cared for him and treated him like her younger brother. He's only gotten her into trouble, so he decides that this time he'll help her. On the other side, Ming meets the manager and tells her that she wants to work in their company and she'll try to earn as much money as possible for their company so she can pay Yugji's compensation. But the manager asks her to talk to Yugji first about it. As soon as she meets him, she tells him everything. Yugji says, "Why do you want to do this for me?" Ming says, "Because I like you." Yugji says, "I have to pay a compensation of such a huge amount, yet how can you still like me?" Ming says, "Because I only like you, no matter what the difficulties are. I want to face them with you." That's why he tells her, "I can't see you in trouble, so I'll solve this problem first. Then I have something to tell you." Then, the next day, the manager and Ming find out that Yugji's having a press conference at 1 p.m., which neither of them had any idea about. The manager leaves to attend the press conference. Here, Ming also starts seeing the live conference at Fang's store. At the conference, Yugji tells everyone that he doesn't belong to a rich family, nor does he have any family. He's just an orphan. When Ming talks about going there, then Fang stops her and says there must be some reason behind it. Then, the reporter asked about his relationship with his manager, but just then the manager goes on stage and stops him from saying anything further. But he tells them everything about himself. After rescuing him from human trafficking, the police take him to a welfare institution from where the manager had brought him out, and she has been taking care of him the most. So, the manager and he don't just have a working relationship, but for Yugji, she is his mother, sister, and family. It is because of her that he has become so successful. Hearing all this from him, everyone gets emotional and claps for him. Ming also becomes so emotional after hearing all this. But in the end, Yugji tells everyone a shocking thing, that he should give up his idol career and focus only on studies. After which, the manager asks him why he didn't discuss it once before doing all this. Yugji says how long he would keep his identity hidden. Here, the manager still tells him that he doesn't need to do anything like that she'll take care of everything. But Yugji tells her that in a year, he's studied a lot about music production, so he wants to compose music. So, the manager asks what he will do next. Then, he tells her that first he'll finish his college life, like any ordinary boy. Then, he gets a call from Fang, so he goes to his store to meet him. Seeing him, Amy leaves from there, and Yugji comes to Ming and asks her, "What was it about us being together?" Ming says, no matter what happens, she'll always be with him. So, finally, here they kiss each other. Then, all these friends get together, remembering old things, and have a final celebration at Fang's store, where Fang tells everyone that he's going to rent this store out and he'll study full-time at university. Actually, Fang loves this store and the toys here because he's been lonely since childhood. He only loves these toys because his mom and dad were always busy. Then, Amy tells him that from now on, he won't feel lonely because she's come into his life who will never let him feel alone. Then, from the next day, Fang joins a university as a teacher. Then, he finds a photo in a cabin drawer. Meanwhile, a friend comes to the manager looking for a music producer, so she suggests Yugji as a music producer. In the next scene, Yugji calls Ming outside the university, and the two go for a walk together. They reminisce about old memories at that place. After that, at night, they enjoy their date as a normal couple again. Next, Fang calls Amy and tells her that he's learned something about her parents, that her father had worked here, and that it's possible that both of her parents used to study together. But Amy's mother didn't tell her anything about it, but Ming hasn't told Amy the whole story. Because in the photo found in the cabin driver, he saw a man with her mother, who could be her father, but he wasn't confirmed, so he didn't tell her about this. Next, we find out that Professor Lee knew Amy's father very well, who is a famous producer named Mr. Chen, but Mr. Chen also doesn't want to tell Amy about himself. What is the reason behind this? We'll find out later. Now, 4 years have passed. Everyone is in their final year. Everyone has decided what they want to do in the future. Dong is going to become a professional cameraman soon. Yugji was busy composing his own music. Lee Song has now applied to an abroad dance academy. Amy opened a dance studio with her friends. And Shu Yun is acting in dramas, but Ming's busy dating right now. But Yugji said that he would always support Ming. Only Yang is left alone, so he immediately decides that he will always be with his dream girl, Lee Song. Now, Dong wrote a script for a movie based on his and his friends' lives, which he called Almost Famous. Now, Professor Lee had shown the story of Dong to Mr. Chen, so Mr. Chen called Dong to his office to discuss it. So Dong explained everyone his story, but Mr. Chen's team doesn't like his story at all. Dong's story was about hard work and achieving success, but Mr. Chen's team scoffs at his inspirational story. They believe that the public loves the love element and action in today's movies. After hearing all this, Dong leaves. Then, Mr. Chen calls him again because he wanted to make some changes to his story, but Dong refuses. Then, Mr. Chen told that if his graduation project is well received, they will use Dong's story in his movies. After that, Professor Lee chooses Dong's story for his graduation play. Everyone is overjoyed to learn about this because this story is about them. After that, Ming gets an offer to play a supporting role from a famous director named Mr. Lin. This leaves her confused about what she should do. Should she play a supporting role, or should she focus on her graduation play? But then, Professor Lee resolves this confusion. Next, Fang also finds out that Mr. Chen is Amy's father. So he had reached him and asks him, why doesn't he tell her that he's her father? Then, we learn that Amy's mother left her and went abroad because Mr. Chen was very poor at that time and couldn't provide her with the lifestyle she wanted. Her mother didn't tell her anything about him because she probably didn't want Mr. Chen to meet Amy, so he doesn't want to interfere in Amy's life without her mother's permission. Next, we see that all the students start practicing to give a perfect performance in their roles for their graduation play. Our Shu Yun asks Dong for a good role in the TV series based on his story, but Dong tells her that he can't decide this. He says that Mr. Chen can decide this. So the next day, Shu Yun arrives at Mr. Chen's office and insists on meeting him, but Mr. Chen's assistant asks her to go, but she refuses. Just then, Mr. Chen arrives and she tells him about herself, saying that she has been acting since childhood and has a lot of experience in it. She also has experience, so she believes she can get a good role in the TV series adaptation of Almost Famous, on which Mr. Chen says that they'll decide it after watching her performance. If their team likes her performance, she'll definitely get a chance. Now, Ming had decided that she should focus all her attention on the final graduation play because she'll have plenty of time in the future to play supporting roles. This graduation play will only happen once, so she wants to be the female lead in this story. To do this, she'll improve her acting skills. But Yugji wants to become the best music producer, and Fang wants to become a teacher, so these three wish them to fulfill their dreams. Here, Lee Song was upset because she wasn't accepted into the abroad academy, and she was more upset that her mother would once again control her life. But Yang brought her food and promised her that he would always be with her, so she eats all the food. Meanwhile, Mr. Chen calls Shu Yun to meet him and asks her that they also finalized a role for her in the TV series Almost Famous. And in return, he tells her that his company is making a movie based on street dance, and that he's learned that there is a very good dancer named Amy at her university. Hearing this, Shu Yun starts saying that yes, she is the best dancer of their university. So Mr. Chen wants her to tell him about Amy's lifestyle and campus activities, and also says that Amy shouldn't come to know about this. But Shu Yun says, "Why is this necessary? You should talk to her directly." But Mr. Chen says that he's working on the movie, but it's still in its early stages. Therefore, he needs to train the actors thoroughly. So Shu Yun also agrees to this. Here, Yugji had also revealed that he composed a song for Almost Famous, which Ming and Fang also like very much. Now, Mr. Chen has not yet given his daughter Amy anything, so he sends her gifts, but he sends the gifts in the name of Shu Yun and her roommates. So, his secretary thinks Shu Yun is Mr. Chen's daughter, so she goes to class looking for Shu Yun, but Shu Yun and none of her roommates are there. The secretary tells the rest of the students that Shu Yun's father, Mr. Chen, sent these gifts for Shu Yun and her roommates. All the students start to think that Shu Yun will get the lead role in Almost Famous, because Shu Yun is Mr. Chen's daughter. That's why he's investing in Dong's play. Then, Dong's friend tells Dong about this and says that you are lucky that Shu Yun's your friend. The university students are all talking about Shu Yun, and after seeing her, they say that Shu Yun is a girl from a very rich family. She'll easily get roles in movies because of her father's connections, because he's a producer himself. Then, Dong goes to talk to Shu Yun about this, but he only asks whether Mr. Chen invested in his play because of her. Shu Yun says no matter what, he's investing. That's good, but Dong says that if they're investing in it because of you, so I doubt my writing skills. But she tells him that you should trust your writing skills, so Dong says I am fully confident. So Shu Yun says, "Why are you asking about this?" But Dong does not tell her anything and leaves, saying it's a very long story. Next, Yang goes and applies to a dance academy for Lee Song. Here, in the dormitory, these three see the gifts and wonder why Shu Yun didn't tell them about her father. Then, Shu Yun arrives, and everyone asks her why she didn't tell them that Mr. Chen is her father. But Shu Yun is lying and doesn't tell them the truth. Next day, all friends are sitting and discussing who will be the lead in their play. Then, Amy learns that her mother has been in an accident and is currently hospitalized in China. On the way, she meets Fang, so she takes him along. But at the hospital, she learns that her mother didn't have an accident, but rather collided with a shopping cart at the mall. She just had some trinkets in her hand. She asks how she suddenly got here. She also asks her about her father. When she starts asking about her father, her mother ignores her. Because of this, she gets angry with her and leaves. After that, Fang talks about Mr. Chen, and she tells him her story about how they were very poor at the time. When Amy's mom talked about going abroad, but her husband didn't stop her from leaving because he couldn't provide them with a good life. But she still regrets her decision to leave, and that's why she didn't tell Amy anything about her father, because she doesn't want Amy to regret it when she finds out that despite having a father, she hasn't been able to reach him since childhood. After a long search, Fang finds Amy, who looks quite upset, so Fang cheers her up. On the other side, Yugji gets a supporting role, so he goes to audition for it. Just then, Shu Yun tells Mr. Chen about Amy's mother's accident. After a while, Amy comes into her room and tells them all that there's nothing to worry about. Her mother is still safe. Here, Fang is still with Amy's mom, where she asks him what is going on between you and Amy, so he tells her that he likes her. So Amy's mom directly asks him, "Have you both kissed or not?" So Fang tells her the truth that no. So she tells him that if you like her, you have to take the initiative, and only then will he take care of Amy. Fang promises to always take good care of Amy. Then Amy's mom asks him to take her on a tour of the campus. Fang says he will take her later. Here, we see Yugji, where he explains the reason for playing this role to the director. Because the character's story is exactly like his own life, he will be able to do the role well. So in this way, Shu Yun gets selected for the role. Here, Mr. Chen was thinking that whether he should tell Amy everything or not. Just then, Shu Yun messages him saying that Amy is rehearsing in the university's dancing room. So Mr. Chen reaches to see his daughter, and then, after giving his introduction, he says he has to go to the administration building, but I don't know the way there. So he asks Amy to drop him there, on which she agrees. Then, on the way, they both talk about a lot of things. While Fang was talking with Amy's mom and coming from the front, then they both met at a place. They both looked at each other, and seeing their expressions, Amy got some idea, so Fang took Amy outside to talk to her. While talking, Mr. Chen asks Amy's mom about their old days. Mom said that there was no point in talking about old times. Amy is happy in her life, so she refuses him to disturb Amy, but Mr. Chen says that he doesn't want to. When he found out that Amy is his daughter, he just wanted to see her once. He wanted to talk to her. He wanted to ask her if she is fine, but Mom said that she didn't need him anymore because they were both very happy in their lives. Saying this, she leaves. Here, Amy gets angry at Fang because she also found out that he already knew that Mr. Chen was her father, so she starts leaving from there. But Fang goes and stops her and kisses her for the first time. Next, we see that Amy was very confused about what she would talk to her father because she wants to know a lot. So, Fang tells her that then you should ask him. You will get answers to all the questions in your mind about him. Here, the manager gets a little angry at Yugji for playing the supporting role, but Yugji makes her understand everything and somehow convinces her. So the next day, Amy goes to meet Mr. Chen at his office, where she asks him a lot of questions and gets angry with him. So he tells her that he has always loved her mother, but she remains angry with him for some time. But then she gives him a hug by heart. Then he shows her his and her mother's photo, which he has kept safe for 20 years. Meanwhile, auditions are being held for the selection of the heroine of the graduation play. Meanwhile, Amy introduces her mother to her father because she doesn't want her mom and dad to still stay separated. Here, Yugji works very hard for his small role, and Ming comes to support him. After that, Mr. Chen calls Fang and asks him to take care of his daughter. Just then, Yugji's movie producers come, and they want to make another big movie. Here, Fang overhears their conversation. When the producer comes out, he meets him. Then they go to a coffee shop to talk. Meanwhile, the heroine for the play, Almost Famous, has been selected, and she is Lee Song. Seeing this, Ming and Shu Yun become a little sad. Here, Fang comes to meet Yugji, where he learns that his movie's work has been stopped because the producer has run out of money. When Fang confronts him about this, he tells him that he can't leave the movie because it's very important for this story to reach the people. Meanwhile, Amy has dinner with her dad for the first time, but Yang and Lee Song see them together, so she tells them that Mr. Chen is her dad. Hearing this, both of them are shocked because until now, everyone thought he was Shu Yun's dad. So, they keep this secret, and Amy refuses to tell anyone else. Otherwise, people will make fun of Shu Yun, and she'll feel bad. But then Yang didn't resist and tells Dong that Mr. Chen is Amy's father. Here, we come to know that Yugji's movie's work starts, so he goes back to his shooting set. Here, Shu Yun has a little argument with Amy and Lee Song. Then Amy tells Ming that Mr. Chen is her father. After that, while shooting, Shu Yun says some of her own lines instead of some logicless lines written in the script, which angers the director, and he throws her out of work. After that, she is quite upset, and Fang passes by, but he ignores her and leaves because he didn't want Shu Yun to feel embarrassed knowing that Dong also knows that Amy's father is Mr. Chen. Then, we learn that Shu Yun belongs to a very poor family, and her family constantly demands money from her. That's why she had started working at the age of 8. Then, in the room, Shu Yun gets into a very serious fight with her roommate. In anger, Amy tells Shu Yun that Mr. Chen is her father. Due to this, their fight becomes quite serious, causing Shu Yun to feel bad, so she runs out of the room crying. As she comes out, Dong sees her, and then he follows her, trying to control her. She also gets angry with Dong. She felt that everyone knew the truth. She says to Dong that she would not tell anyone that Mr. Chen is her father. Everyone assumes it by themselves. Saying this, she goes out crying. After that, Shu Yun doesn't return to the room, so everyone is worried about her. Dong calls her, but she doesn't give him any proper answer. Now, Dong has liked Shu Yun for a long time, but was never able to tell her. Here, Ming goes for an interview, but she doesn't get a final answer. Here, on her mother's call, Lee Song goes to meet someone. He is a producer and his son. The producer's son asks Lee Song to dance in front of him, and Lee Song's mom and dad also ask her to dance, which makes Lee Song get very angry. She gets angry and leaves. Now, wanting to prove to everyone that she can do everything on her own, Shu Yun calls the anonymous agent who had always been trying to get her work. He was in a bar with a director, so Shu Yun goes straight to the bar and starts drinking a lot with the director. Now, the agent had also told her that she had to drink to win the director's heart. That's why she was drinking a lot. After that, Shu Yun tries to go home, but the director doesn't let her go. He starts drinking with her more. Shu Yun pretends to need the washroom and calls Dong, but Dong doesn't answer her. Then she somehow manages to give Ming the address of the bar. Just then, the director sneaks into the washroom and takes Shu Yun out with him. Hearing these voices, Ming understands that Shu Yun was in trouble, so she goes with all her friends to the bar where Shu Yun was being given drinks. Dong goes and beats the director and teaches him a good lesson because he was very angry. Here, we come to know that he doesn't even recognize a director whom Yugji had recognized him, and Amy also makes a video. After coming outside, all the friends say sorry to Shu Yun because they had also said too much to Shu Yun. Shu Yun also apologizes to them. Then, Yugji tells her that if she has a problem, she should share it with her friends. Only then will they be able to help each other. Then, they all leave to let Shu Yun talk to Dong alone. Finally, Dong also confesses his feelings to her. He has liked her for a long time, so he promises that he will never let anything bad happen to her again. He will always make her happy. Then, they kiss, and all the friends take selfies with them from a distance. The next day, Shu Yun's roommate starts teasing her with that kissing photo, and she was feeling shy. Now, the end of their final year is just a few days away, so they all plan a trip with all their friends. In the next scene, we see that all of them are at a hotel to stay, where Yang says that there are only 4 rooms left in the hotel, so he makes many suggestions. That in one room, Ming and Yugji, and in second, Amy and Fang, and in third, Shu Yun or Dong, and who is in the 4th room? You must have understood this. But the poor guy's plan doesn't work because the girls go to stay in one room and then the boys go to their rooms. After going to their rooms, Amy goes to meet Fang. Then, Yugji calls Ming to him, and then Dong calls Shu Yun, and she takes Lee Song along with her. Now, today Yang is about to confess to Lee Song, and he's very nervous. So Dong encourages him saying, no matter what happens, you have to confess your feelings to Lee Song today. On the other side, Yugji takes Ming for a walk, where the owner's daughter was a big fan of his, so he takes a selfie with him. Here, Dong tells Yang some romantic lines to rehearse because he's a little nervous, but he can't remember them well. Then, Shu Yun brings Lee Song there, and then they leave, leaving them alone. Finally, Yang confesses his feelings to Lee Song, and they too become a couple. After that, they all sit together and eat, talk about their futures and what they're going to do. Fang has become a movie producer who also produces an upcoming film of Yugji. Everyone else will also fulfill their ambitions. Here, there is a special premiere of Yugji's movie, in which Yugji's performance is very good, and many directors want to work with him. Meanwhile, Ming goes to the basement, which is very dark. But upon hearing her screams, Yugji goes and finds her running through the darkness. And this time, he is not afraid at all, and thus, his fear of darkness also goes away. Then, the next day, all the friends are back at the university, where everyone is just talking about the good role Yugji had in the movie. After that, Dong calls them for an important announcement, where he tells everyone that they will all be the leads in their final graduation play. But a dance performance of Lee Song will be the most important, so she will have to do more practice. But when Lee Song's mother hears about this, she becomes very angry with Lee Song because she had told all her relatives and business partners that her daughter would be performing a main female lead role in the final graduation play. But now she is not going to play the main female lead role. Her mother has to feel a lot of embarrassment. Here, she doesn't give her a chance to say anything. Then she starts saying that you must have made a mistake. That's why they took the role from her. But Lee Song gets angry and cuts the call, but her mother starts harassing her by repeatedly calling her. This causes her to lose concentration and lower her confidence. So Ming comes and encourages her. But she still gets extremely stressed out during her final rehearsal, so she faints there. Then, she is taken to the hospital, where she is admitted. After regaining consciousness, she tells all her friends about the way she was pressured from childhood until yesterday. She tells them about how she was pressured to come first in everything. From childhood until today, that's why she decides to stop participating in her graduation play. Yang, along with all her other friends, is very worried about her. Then, Yang takes very good care of her in the hospital and promises her that no matter what happens, he will always be there for her. After she falls asleep, he leaves her a letter and leaves. Here, Shu Yun and Dong start their family planning. After that, when Lee Song wakes up and opens the letter, she comes to know that she gets selected in a dance academy. She's overjoyed. She also comes to know that Yang had applied for her. A few days pass in this way. Ming, Yugji, and along with their friends, they get ready for their graduation. Now, Lee Song's mother has now realized that she's done Lee Song a lot of wrong, so she won't force her into anything in the future. Lee Song also gives them the good news of her selection in a dance academy in the UK. Next, Yugji also receives good news from his doctor that he's fully recovered. Afterward, their final graduation play is held, which everyone enjoys. Many big producers, directors, and agencies have come to see it. Then, Ming's mom invites Yugji to her house for dinner, as it was a green signal for both of them. Mr. Chen also gives Amy and Fang the good news. Shu Yun is cast in the TV series adaptation of Almost Famous, having been given a very important role, so they both go with all their friends to tell Shu Yun the good news, who is overjoyed. After this, all the friends gather for a farewell dinner, where they all celebrate their 4 years by remembering their memories. So, after coming to the dormitory, these girls also talk about how quickly these 4 years have passed. They look at some photos and reminisce about their old days, as tonight will be their last night at university, and in the morning they will all be leaving for their homes. The next morning, they start talking about rehearsal, as they had become accustomed to this. But then, the 3 of them notice that Lee Song is missing. Then, they find a letter in her bed, in which she had written many things about each of them. She explains that in these 4 years, they have been so close to each other that she gets nervous that she has to be separated from the 3 of them. Her flight to the UK was at night, so she left without saying goodbye. Because if she woke them up, she probably wouldn't have been able to leave them, so she didn't have the courage to say goodbye. These 4 years are the most special 4 years of her life. She had written many things about her 3 friends, which only the 3 of them read. They console each other and promise each other that no matter what happens, they will remain friends forever. Here Dong, after everyone's leaves, says goodbye to his dormitory and takes the memories of all his friends with him to his home. As they leave, Yugji was waiting for Ming outside the university, where Ming gives him the same signed keychain she threw away at the beginning, but now she has found it again. Perhaps this is what fate calls it. So they say goodbye to their university and leave for their respective homes. Then, in the ending scene, we are shown Ming on a huge stage where many people have come to see her performance. This means she has fulfilled her dream and has become a very famous musical actress who is going to perform on the world's biggest stage. So finally, with this, the drama ends.